policy?
Yes.
It's a weird policy. Hey, I think we're maybe happening.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, I love happening.
Oh, don't cough in anybody's
Hey!
face twice a week.
Yeah.
Oh, look.
Look now,
Look, I
now
just got a
go,
notification
now,
on my phone.
notification.
Look how happy we are
My
in that
handy-dandy
thumbnail.
mobile device.
I'm going to tweet about it.
Look about how happy
I'm
we
going to
are.
retweet that tweet.
I'm in the bottom right of the Zoom call, and I would prefer to be somewhere else. Thank you. I'm kidding. I don't care.
Oh, I was going to kick you out.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
All right. Go over to that. Where is it?
I feel like I've been being very bad about letterboxing lately.
Huh?
Because, like, I don't think I've logged a lot of things very recently.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
I
just,
haven't logged shit.
I was just trying to think. I was like, I know I've watched things, but what the hell have I watched? Like, I just...
That's what Letterboxd is for.
I know. I'm just having this complete
You-
mental fart right
You
now.
need to be able to link your letterbox to streaming services.
Yeah.
So that can feed your
So you
watch
can
list
Scrabble.
there.
Scrabble. I
Yeah.
want to Scrabble my shit. I would totally let you look at
Let's not
everything.
call it Scrabble, though,
Whatever.
because that sounds like a gross food from the 30s that you ate because that was all you had.
That's
Like it was made out of
Scrabble.
like
Boiled
exactly.
Scrabble.
Yeah. It's made out of like
Yeah, pig intestines and rat
And
hairs.
shoe leather.
goose lips. And
Yeah, and sadness, of course.
Yes,
Yeah,
of
A little-
course.
A side of dysentery.
That's just...
primary ingredient
Yeah,
is
well, it's
sadness.
a dysentery sauce is on top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Served in a dust bowl.
Yes, exactly.
Good times.
So are we going to talk about anything other than falconry?
I can talk about the It's briefly. I watched the It's.
The It's.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
I'm going to save my stuff because
I don't know. The two It chapter 1 and 2, as in Stephen King's
Oh.
It.
I've seen that first one.
Yeah, don't see the second one unless you
I
want
keep
to.
hearing that.
tried to tell you.
I keep hearing that
huh.
from literally everyone.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I would say watch it because it's just so what the fuck, but then it's also so what the fuck, and it's like 3 hours long. So
Okay.
yeah,
Well, yeah. Let's do
yeah.
let's do some brief stuff because I can talk Mortal Kombat. You guys have said your piece on the extra episode
Mm-hmm.
that people.
But not everybody,
subscribe.
gets to listen to extra, so you could give brief thoughts.
Oh, no.
The other
You got
two
to pay
would
for
be
my Mortal Kombat thoughts.
Or you got to wait 6 months for his Mortal Kombat thoughts.
Longer than that?
What is it? A year now?
It's
The last retweet I did of an episode that is now available was posted 325 days ago.
Shit.
So we are approaching a year.
Yeah. That Hitman episode. Not much about Hitman. You guys didn't like Hitman.
That's why Harlow didn't remember watching Hitman.
I did not. I did not.
Has Agent 47 come up?
It's currently in the poll.
Okay.
That's the one starring I don't know who, right?
I think it's literally what you guys requested because you're like, listen, just get an action director, get a nobody as Hitman because it doesn't matter, and go from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
It can't be
That's
worse
my
than the first
understanding
one.
Yeah, that's my understanding is what they did with the second one. And then people are like, I don't know who Hitman is, so I'm not going to see it.
I mean, I think people probably said the same thing about the first Mortal Kombat movie. Like, it can't be as bad as the first one. And then they saw Annihilation and were like, huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a reason most of these franchises die after the second one. Because it's like, let's try it one more time.
I stand
No.
corrected. I mean, yeah. I mean, Punisher Warzone is like one of the only instances of like, yes, you and well, I guess no Alien Requiem, AVP Requiem. Those
Yes.
were two where it was like, yes, you finally did it right, and everyone was like, no, but we don't care because the first one. It's like, yeah, but no, this one, Just
Yeah, they fixed it. They did what you wanted them to do.
Go see that. Like, there's no John Travolta.
I say that all the time.
Yeah.
That can refer to a lot of movies.
Yeah.
But there's no John Travolta.
That's how to sell me on a movie. Yeah. There's no John Travolta.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah, it's like so weird. Yeah.
All right, everyone recording?
No,
No.
I am now.
Nay.
I just
Yes.
hit record.
See.
Backwards, I am recording.
I am seeing wavelengths showing
Whoa.
up. Waveforms, wavelengths, those things.
Cool.
Oh, I should pull up the We Are Online thing on the YouTubes.
Oh, I should retweet our tweet about
We are online.
online.
Online we are.
Hey, there it is. Retweet. Boom.
Is there some sort of national address happening tonight?
Yes,
Is it the State of the Union?
it is, but it isn't. They don't call it that because he hasn't been there long enough. But it's that.
Okay.
Cool.
Yep. But it's not till 9. We'll be done by then.
Okay.
Yes.
So Matt can get to bed.
Yes.
You have a big day tomorrow, Mackie?
I am driving all day.
Fun.
Visit the in-laws.
Okay.
I spent the last 2 days painting my house, so I need sleep.
Understandable.
Yep. Yup.
I'm excited. I have the next 2 days off as well. We should have just gone to Brunswick instead of the in-laws.
No. I would not get away with that. Don't do
It doesn't
that.
matter what you're
Don't
trying to
ever
get
do
away with. It's what you should do.
Don't ever do that.
What?
That. Well, where'd BJ go for a second? All right.
All right. Clapping time.
Yeah, now you can start.
Shit, what number are we? You said it earlier, but I forgot.
39.
39.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
All right, and welcome to the BMFcast Variety Hour.
Hey!
Hey,
all right.
Yeah.
Variety.
Episode 39, and hopefully the penultimate episode, maybe.
It should be the penultimate episode.
Yes.
Yeah, until the next pandemic.
Yes. And then it'll be the sword.
will be-
sword. I don't know.
It will.
Penultimate
been-
is the
Variety
sword
Hour
ultimate.
Season 2.
No, cancel the show.
No.
Yeah, I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
Chuck.
Yeah. And we're still trapped in our voids and all that stuff and alone together.
Back at full strength, so 100% vaccinated.
Uh-huh.
We are.
We are. We're just waiting on the time after it. And
Yeah, a couple weeks.
so, yes, hopefully soon. But
Yes.
we are here to just talk about stuff and things until then. What we've
Talk
been
about
watching.
death and feel sad and stuff.
Yeah. We are going to talk Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think as like the last thing, so that we can get spoilery and whatnot, since it's the whole run is over. But yeah, I guess in the meantime, what's everybody else been watching? New,
I watched
fun,
Mortal
exciting.
Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
That's
Yeah.
a new motion picture.
Uh huh.
It is. I watched the new one. I haven't seen the original, and I haven't seen Annihilation ever. But I haven't seen the original since like it came out, so I could not tell you a thing about that except the song.
Yep.
Yeah. But anyway, the new one. That's a movie, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, it's ultra violent for once, and they swear and stuff, but it's like, that first like 10 minutes of the movie promises a much better movie than what comes after, and it seems odd that like I've played Mortal Kombat on and off since the original came out, and like there's kind of a neat, fun cast of characters with different motivations for being there and all this sort of all those sorts of things, and they're like yeah, but let's make a new guy who's an MMA fighter whose skill is getting the crap kicked out of him and never winning. And that's our new main guy. It's like, okay.
Yeah, he's like a shitty Rocky.
Yeah, and they kind of like changed the whole like, and they changed the whole tournament thing as far as like now you have to kill somebody who was chosen to go to the tournament to be able to go to the tournament and to be able to use your superpowers, you know, like to throw fireballs or whatever. And so that kind of turns it into a chosen one storyline, which I mean, I get it. Everyone in Hollywood had an uncle or an aunt who got them in the movie, so bloodlines matter to them. But like, you know, that's what fucked up Rise of Skywalker. It's like it fucks up so many things, turning them into a chosen one storyline, and I'm so fucking sick of it. And I'm sick of it in video games too, because I mean, video games it's worse because it's like you're the chosen one. Go kill me 5 rats, and I'll tell you something. You know, it's like no thanks. The chosen one would not do that, sir.
I've chosen.
The chosen one
not
is
to do
busy
that.
being fucking chosen one.
Yeah,
I've chosen better things to do with my time.
yeah. But I mean, like they turned all of Mortal Kombat into that. So like everyone who's there is kind of like, well, I guess I'm here because I killed somebody who was supposed to be here. It's like, okay, great. And then they spend the whole movie talking about training for the tournament, but all of the combat in this movie takes place before the tournament because it's like the bad guys are trying to kill everyone before the tournament starts because I guess the refs, you know, whatever Mortal Kombat refs exist, are just like, hey, ref's not looking, hit that guy with a chair. And
Yeah, the tournament committee is paying no attention to.
yeah. And it's not like Raiden does anything. He's like, hey, don't do that. And that's it. You know, it's like, Raiden, you could like go on the offensive or something. I don't know. I don't want to spoil too much, but I will spoil one thing in that they spend the whole fucking movie talking about a tournament and then the tournament never happens. Which is like, it just reminded me of Theodore Rex where he talked about going undercover the whole time and then Theodore Rex never went undercover. And it's like, no, that's the point of your movie. You got to go undercover. And it's like Mortal Kombat. Why are you there? Oh, you're there for the Mortal Kombat tournament. No. So yeah, it's one of those movies I was like, after watching, I was like, yeah, that was kind of fun. And then afterward, you know, it's more I thought about it, I was like, man, this thing can kind of fuck itself. Because
Well, that's impressive.
yeah, but it definitely, it's a movie that feels like it's about to get into gear. At the end, they're like, oh, fuck, here we go, you know. And then it's like, oh, now we're over. Come back for the sequel. Johnny Cage might be there this time. You know, it's like, nah. Put it out on HBO Max and maybe, but nah. So, yeah. Which I kind of know echoes you guys' sentiments on the Patreon podcast that was out. Which, if you wait 325 days, you'll be able to hear on the regular feed.
Yes, come back in 2022 and you
or
can
you
hear
could
it
just
for
pay
free.
us $1 and hear it.
Yeah, give us a goddamn dollar.
But yeah,
That's a hell of a sales pitch.
Whatever, fuck this show. Fuck the variety hour.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can spoil everything.
Jesus.
But
Chuck is
but like,
scorched earthing the Variety Hour podcast.
it's good that they got to the violence, but it's bad that they just kind of forgot to make anybody interesting except Kano, and that sucks. And God, like that main guy, the Cole Taylor, I think is his name. It's like, yeah, you made a Mortal Kombat character and you named him Cole Taylor. Fuck you. What are you doing? Like, why do you do this, movies? Why do you do this?
You got what?
There's like 85 characters in Mortal Kombat at this point,
And they all have cool names.
and you couldn't pick one of them. Like, fuck, make it about Baraka.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be like, I was once president. Chop, 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 chop.
Man, I was working on a Barack Obama fucking joke in my head.
Nope. Everyone's
Not
made the
fair.
Baraka was president joke. All right. We
Not
all
me.
voted
I
for
hadn't made
Baraka.
one
We
yet.
would have done it a third time, but Baraka couldn't run again. Damn it.
Well, there's a limit on how many times you can run because your character
Yeah.
gets tired. Yeah.
Also, he had trouble signing all the bills because he had scissors for arms.
Yeah.
Didn't work out. We were so ready for Baraka to make everything change, and then what happened? His
Knives.
arms were big fucking knives, and all he did was chop people up.
It's a good thing The Rock didn't run against him.
Anyway, yeah, it's free. If you got HBO Max, I mean, sure. why not waste an hour and 45 minutes? But otherwise,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would watch the like if the first 10 minutes became its own movie, fuck yes, count me in again. And I think you said it, Harlow. It seems like someone else directed that.
It really does.
Almost.
Yeah.
Because it's like a whole other much better thing.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh well.
Instead, use your hour and 45 minutes to watch Scott Pilgrim versus the World because it's still awesome. I've watched it for the 987th time now, and I'm to the point where I no longer notice things new about the movie when I watch it.
You have plumbed all its depths.
Not entirely, because there were special features on the Blu-ray that I hadn't looked at yet. But now I've watched all those, so until Edgar Wright does another interview, I am bereft of Scott Pilgrim content, except for the fact that it will be re-released in theaters in what is it, August?
No.
July?
Friday.
May?
This week.
Oh, it's this. Wait,
Yep.
Friday.
This Friday. Yeah,
shit!
April
I didn't
30th.
realize that.
Yep.
So when this podcast comes out, go and get yourself a ticket at one of those Dolby cinemas, so you can watch it
vaccinated.
if you've been vaccinated. So you can watch it in it's like a 4K remaster
Yes.
and a Dolby Atmos remaster. So go watch that because that's going to be cool
And all
as
the
shit.
original people involved worked on it.
Yes.
Like, as far as like the new color grading and all that stuff, everyone that was originally working on the movie
yeah.
worked on
It's
it.
like
So
it's fully Edgar Wright approved. So it's not going to be some bullshit. I have to send a text message to change my Friday plans now. So y'all talk about something else.
will
Okay.
do.
Anybody else, or do you want to hear about it?
I'll mention one thing real
Okay.
quick. This is kind of mostly for you, Harlow, but
All right.
other people like us can pay attention. So I had another instance of, man, here's a thing I would really like, and I'm just never going to watch it. I'm just going to put it away and not watch the thing. I am halfway through the second season after binging all of the first season of For All Mankind on Apple TV Plus. And that is a fantastic show that no one is talking about, and that's a goddamn shame because that show is really, really good. If you are into the space stuff, the NASA era, the like from Mercury 7 through 70s and 80s, it is the era of NASA that you're into, but it's also an alternative history thing. It basically starts with the premise that the Russians beat us to the moon. And how does that change society? In what ways does society change because of that? It's fascinating. It's amazing, and it's Ronald D. Moore, Battlestar guy. So, it's strong. It's just a really strong television show, and I'm amazed that no one talks about it. It's really good.
Yeah. I keep hearing about it, but I subscribe to like space related shit. So like they're always applauding the details of everything in that show. So
It's really, really, really well done.
Yeah.
You will know if you're in or not, depending on how angry you are at the opening scene of the first episode, which is basically everyone watching the Russians land on the moon. And it's like, man, I am like angry. I am like shaking at this. I'm so mad that this happened in this fictional world. Like, how dare this happen? And that's the same reaction the characters have. And they're like, all right, we got to start over. What are we going to do? How are we going to do this? What are we, and it's just NASA basically just like starting over, trying to figure out how to, do stuff. And then every time they think they've got it, Russia does something else. And it's like, shit, now we got to do that. It's real good. And it's got that era flavor to it. I mean, it's almost Mad Men-esque in a lot of ways. It's just that era of just like, man, everyone's just drinking all the time and swinging dicks, and it's just you guys would get in a lot of trouble
unfortunately
if it wasn't the 60s.
Unfortunately, it got canceled, but I will reiterate to watch that the Right Stuff series. Yeah. It's not going to get a second season, which is fine. I mean, it kind of ended in a way that it was like, all right, that's an acceptable-ish ending, I suppose, but I could totally watch more. But unfortunately not. But yeah, I was actually just having this conversation about For All Mankind, where it was like, that show, like when it was pitched, I remember like most of the Apple TV stuff, it was like, yeah, okay, whatever, take it or leave it. I don't really need another thing like this in my life, but that came along and it was like, oh, okay, they made a show like totally for me. And then I think I did try to sample it and I just wasn't in the mood or something at the time and just kind of shelved it and was like, I'm going to come back to this because I know it's going to be my thing at some point in time. And I've been thinking recently it's time to revisit that. So
Yeah, I had put it off because basically it being the first generation Apple TV kind of thing, I was like, that's not going to last. But then they renewed it for season 2 and they already renewed it for season 3. So I was like, okay, but time to get in. If they're going to do 3 seasons of this, that'll be worth watching. So yeah, they're in the 80s now.
okay. But yeah,
I wonder if the movies are different because the Russians made it to the moon first.
You'd be surprised.
Does Vietnam happen because of this? Actually, no, Vietnam had already started. Never mind.
Things change.
Okay. So they go all in on like wholesale cultural everything.
I'll just say that Ted Kennedy doesn't go to Chappaquiddick that weekend.
Okay. Well, that works out for somebody. At least one person.
Yeah.
Probably Ted Kennedy becoming president. Because that's pretty much, I think, what derailed that. It was like, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because it's basically like, my brother started the space program and how'd y'all let him down? I'm Ted Kennedy. We're going to get this shit going. And people are like, yeah, fuck Nixon. Get out of here. But then somehow Watergate still happens. It's real dumb.
That's a fixed point in time.
Yeah,
like Doctor
yes.
Who thing. Yeah.
Yes,
Watergate has to happen.
Yeah.
We learned one thing from Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because how else would we have like Flex Gate, Bin Gate, every other gate, gate,
Yes, we-
I
gotta have all
appreciate
the
that
gates.
landing on the moon
Flex
was
tape.
not a
Yeah.
fixed point in time, though.
No,
Landing on the moon, not that big a deal.
no. Watergate, big deal. Otherwise, we can't call things gate.
Yes. Yeah.
Too many things
God.
get called gate.
Wow, what would you call every scandal without Watergate?
Yep, exactly.
Probably something good,
You're right.
something original. Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's hear about them It movies.
I was gonna say, speaking of something good and something not good, so I did what Chuck aimed to do some time back, and I completely ignored all of his warnings and did the same thing. I went back and rewatched It. That gets a title of It Chapter 1 at the end, and then I went and watched It Chapter 2. It Chapter 1 is a very solid movie. I'm not going to say, like, it's weird. The sequel kind of does a little, like, makes the first one inferior sort of thing. It just feels like it does. And I try not to let that happen with movies, but then you kind of... I feel like we all saw, or that people that were going to see it saw and talked about the first one. So, and it's also based on an old story, so I'm going to dance around some spoilers, but it's like there's kind of a definitive 2-chapter thing in It that happens where it's like kid story, 27 years later, 40-year-old story, and it's like the first half stuff is mostly contained in the first movie, but then I didn't realize they were going to dip back into it as much as they did in the second half movie, which makes the second half movie really bloated. Like, that is a long ass, like, serious in need of cuts movie. Like, it is just way too bloated, beyond everything else that's wrong with it. But it kind of retroactively makes you realize, like, that even the first one was a little bloated, because, like, there's some just dumb scare for scare's sake stuff in the first one that just really doesn't need to be there. I mean, honestly, like, it's not plot driven. And I mean, in watching the second one, which is like oodles of that, where it's just like, for no reason, someone will just walk over and spooky shit will happen. Then it's like, okay, well, they're totally fine after that. It was just like all right, anyway, kind of reaction. And it's like, what is the fucking point of this? Like, I mean, by the second one, it's just like, I feel like it's just I mean, to the point that like there is literally like a funhouse sequence, and I was like, "That's been this entire fucking movie. You're just like showing your hand of your cards here." Now that it was just like, yeah, I was just making a fucking funhouse movie that made no sense. Just go around the corner and some other dumb shit happens, and to the point that like there's an actual like funhouse in this movie. That's one of the set pieces, and it's just like, Christ, okay, like at least maybe you get it, or probably not, but it kind of makes you go back and look at chapter 1 and go like, yeah, okay, there's a bit of that of like. You could have cut that. It's not really necessary to the plot. It's much tighter, I will say that, but it's the second movie is just fucking ludicrous. Like it is crazy like how different it is. Like and directed by the same person. Like that's what it's like
Yeah, that's what doesn't make sense.
yeah, like there's just like it goes goofy Sam Raimi at points. It does a blatant Psycho homage. There's a terrible Stephen King cameo sequence that's really bad, and yeah, it's just I don't know. And there's so many scenes that don't have anything to do with anything, and like I said, it's just really weird. And the way people behave is really weird. Like I kind of like it that it's like this, look, we've already been through this shit before kind of people, plus like being 40-year-olds. I mean, I feel like it's like kind of how we would deal with some of this shit where it's like there's some jadedness that doesn't usually happen in horror movies and stuff where it's just like, teens would just be like, all right, let's jump in the sewers and fucking go kill this thing. And I mean, even the kids were, but even more to the point, the adults are like, yeah, oh, I don't know. I don't want to, that's just disgusting. I don't want to step in that.
This isn't worth it.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know, but it's just a fucking bizarre ass experience. Like so bizarre.
I just remember feeling like the kids in the first one have to deal with it because they're kids and they don't have an escape really.
Yeah.
But like all the adults in the second one are dealing with it by choice and they don't have to.
No.
They could just be like, fuck this. Like, I'm not going to stay in this Chinese restaurant while bugs are popping out of all the food and I'm freaking out and I'm just going to sit here and take it. It's like, no, I'm leaving. Fuck this.
That's exactly what they all do, and then they keep coming back. I mean, that's kind of like the central point is like they all fucking try to quit like multiple times. They're like, oh no, shit. Like, I don't. If you don't remember the plot of the book, it's like if once you start, that's like when you get older, and the more so to when you move away from Derry, you just start forgetting all the fucking shit that happened there, and it's like it happens a little bit with age, but then like if you move away, it's like even worse. Like they don't even like remember most of their childhood and shit. But until they come back, it's like, oh fuck, all this crazy shit happened. But once they start having that realization, yeah, they're all like, no, I'm out. Like, yeah, nope. Yeah. But yeah, I kind of appreciate some of the way that they react in that way. But then yeah, that movie is just ludicrous. It's like that dude jumps straight to Spider-Man 3, and I mean that in like including. Sam Raimi shit, plus like it is just a hodgepodge of messages and dumbness and everything else where it's like I have no idea what is going on in that movie. Like what is your point here? Like I literally don't know. So like I said, it's almost worth watching just because it's so what the fuck, but also just accept it that it is. Mm-hmm. I mean, Bill Hader's all right in it. He's like he has an amazing one-liner, but that he then kind of has to ruin because he explains it, but it kind of works because it's Bill Hader, but it's like it's still just like the only like saving grace in the whole movie. But yeah, I don't know. It's fucking weird. Anyway,
can we take a quick break?
Sure.
I mean, well, you guys can do whatever, but Jen just got home. I gotta let the dogs out of my room, so
we'll
that
take a
they
quick
will...
break.
Woof, woof,
yeah.
woof, 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 woof.
I'm about to answer the eternal question: Who let
Finally,
the dogs
the show ran long enough where we could answer the
out?
question.
It's me.
That's just in. We're bringing the hard news here.
It's me. I let the dogs out.
Saturday at 4:30, I will be seeing the Scott Pilgrim Dolby thing.
Nice.
So, if any of you are interested in joining me, I will let you know which theater it is via private message.
Oh.
I mean, I don't think anybody
private message.
Yeah. I don't think anybody really lives close enough. Well, some people live close enough to make it there by Saturday and murder me, but
No one's listens to our show right when they come out.
I don't think anybody cares enough to murder me. It's at the theater
my
that you
favorite
don't
country
like,
song.
Harlow. Yeah.
I
It's at the
don't
theater
think-
you don't like, Harlow.
Which one is that? There's a lot I don't like. Oh, Orange Park. Is that
The other one.
Regency?
Yeah, that's the one you don't like.
I don't like either one of them, but yeah.
Okay. I think those are the only Dolby theaters in the city. So
It might be. Actually, I think there might be one at that new. Is it a Cinemark? I think there's one like out the middle of like one of those like, hey, we made a whole fucking town center neighborhood over where there was absolutely nothing areas. Like the one that's like off 9B. I can't remember what the hell it's called.
Oh, there's a Fleming Island one.
Yeah, no.
You mean the one out at like Oakleaf area?
Yeah, I think there's like
Yeah.
I think there's a Cinemark there that might have a fancy ass theater.
Epic Theaters.
Oh, is it an Epic? Okay.
Yeah, it's an Epic Theaters. I don't like going out there.
No, I don't blame you. I'm just like saying of other ones that are semi nearby.
Their website is like a Bobo theater website. It's so bad.
Bobo Theater?
Yeah,
The-
like
the-
Bobo
like the-
shoes.
Oh. Yeah, I thought you meant like the Double Dragon villain. A Bobo.
So they say their Epic XL is Dolby 7.1,
Oh.
which is not Atmos.
Needs to go up to 11.
Right.
Yeah, 11.0.
I got to grab a refill on my beverage. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad I told him about the Scott Pilgrim thing. He would have missed it. And then he would have been sad.
I'm gonna miss it, but I will buy it
Yeah.
in some
Yeah,
form
that-
when it comes available.
That's the 4K I've been waiting for.
Yeah, I know you guys. I don't think you've watched it yet, but I think 1917 is $10 on iTunes right now in 4K Dolby and all that. I'm just still hawking for that movie hard. As far as like if you're a Deacons fan, like that movie is.
Yeah. Is that one Movies Anywhere?
I'm not sure. That might be Paramount. So no, I don't. If it is Paramount, I mean.
Oh, wait. No, it is Movies Anywhere.
Okay. Maybe it's not Paramount then.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Maybe it's Sony.
Universal.
Universal. Okay.
Yep. So iTunes, you say?
Yeah, I that was like an insta buy. Like,
Yeah,
yes,
I will go ahead and buy that.
yeah, that movie is fucking like just a amazing bit of cinematography shit. Do you want to clap? We good to go?
I'm good as soon as I buy this movie.
Apparently at the AMC, they're allowing you to pre-purchase snacks and beverages, and they'll have them ready for you to pick up, which is kind of neat.
They really should have been doing that for a while. Because
Forever.
Must not be on sale anymore. It says $14.99.
Oh, damn it!
Oh well, I'll just wait until the next time it shows up.
Harlow's good about telling us about deals that expired like 6 minutes after he mentions them.
I thought their shit started. I thought I got that yesterday. I thought it was like a Tuesday to Tuesday thing or something. I don't know. I mean, because I feel like every Tuesday I go look at the movie deals that they have or whatever.
I will look.
They'll probably change it noon on Tuesday, so you
Yeah.
get up and you look at them and go, "Wow, look at these deals! I should tell the
How you
fellas."
get
And then-
this thing?
Oh well. Next time.
$5 will get you these 5 amazing movies and this fucking stinking turd that you can't remove from your library ever. I have so many things like that where I'm like, why do I? Oh yeah, because this is in this pack.
Listen, I have every X-Men movie, so
I have shit like that. I'm not ashamed of that. I have like one of the Sex and the City movies and like She's the Man, which I've never seen, but like
Ooh, you should watch
Man
She's the Man.
Defiance.
yeah,
she is in fact a man.
She's the man.
I apparently
a man.
yes. All right. Anyway, Clapping it up.
Is it time to talk Marvel? Sure.
Yeah, if nobody has anything else, do we want to dip into the Falcon Winter Soldier possible spoilery talk stuff?
Yes,
Yes.
let's.
Yeah.
Non-spoilery. It's good. I like
Correct.
it a lot.
It's a good
pretty
show.
good. I
Watch it.
I liked WandaVision better.
Yeah. This one was weird in that I kind of watched it out of obligation up until the last 3 episodes. I was like, I'm watching it because I have watched all the other Marvel BS, so I'm going to watch this. And I guess I was curious to see where it ended up, but I wasn't really excited about it until the last few episodes. And then I was like, okay, yeah, all right, I'm in. But
Yeah, it definitely picks up some steam as it goes.
yeah, let's go ahead and hit that spoiler gong or chime or foghorn or dubstep drop so that we can talk about it freely.
Okay.
Sure.
Wow, 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 wow.
Yeah, there it is. Spoiler.
Yeah, just drop in like a thing we totally won't get sued for, like a
Right.
dubstep version of the MCU logo music. Yeah, that'll be fine. We won't get flagged.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Nobody listens to our podcast anyway. It's good.
Yeah, I liked it more than WandaVision, but I was the one who hated the first 3 episodes of WandaVision, so but I'm sure that colors it somewhat. But I guess
Not
it's
the
also,
first
you know,
episode.
like
That was black and white.
sure. But I guess my thing is, you know, I've said before, I'm pretty sure Winter Soldier is my favorite Marvel movie out of all of them, and this hews very closely to that, at least in tone and style, through the majority of it. So that kind of affects it somewhat as well. I think is that this is kind of like, no, this is more my shit than, you know, the goofy magic stuff would be. So I think that's a bit more why I preferred this one, and I was kind of more on board right away because it was more of also the action scenes that I kind of wanted. So yeah, I mean, that helped a lot. And you know, I liked Sam as a character. I think after this I love Sam as a character. Like, I think they really spent a ton of time, you know, throughout the 6 episodes to really flesh him out and mature him even more than he was as a character already. Because it's, you know, a lot of people have talked about it, but it's like he's one of the few people who's an actual adult, normal person who had like a full life before all the superhero shit started. Whereas everyone else seems to be kind of like ending up in it. And it's kind of like, no, he kind of chose to do this, you know, and it wasn't like, oh, circumstances thrust him into being Falcon. It's like, no, he's like, no, this was kind of what he wanted to be. And so this kind of seemed like the next logical progression for it. And, you know, and the stuff with Bucky as well is, you know, Winter Soldier is not a character I liked at all through, you know, through the previous appearances that he's had. And here they kind of fleshed him out and made him more likable as well. And I think the dynamic that they used worked, where it's kind of like the 2 people that have the common friend, but then once you remove the common friend, do these 2 people have anything in, you know, to talk about anymore? And I like that dynamic that, you know, I think it worked for both of them, you know. And it's clear they built it on that one scene in Civil War, like, you know, with the whole move your seat thing. And, you know, that's kind of like one of the few funny moments in that whole movie. And it's like, yeah, what if we could build a show on this? And obviously I think it worked. But
Yeah.
I don't want to be the only one talking, so
Yeah. I mean, I like the show. My only beef with it sort of is I hope that this doesn't become like an ongoing thing. I'm hoping this is just part of like the growing pains or the let's mess with expectations of fans thing. But I feel like both of these shows have suffered a let the fans speculate too much thing. Like, I mean, I'm all for, like, dragging a mystery out for a period of time, but then you either make the mistake of, like, what this did, which was, like, everyone is basically like, I mean, we're in spoiler territory, so, like, basically everyone was like, oh, Sharon's the power broker, like, right off the bat. I mean, then, and then it was like, oh, I don't know, it could be something else. It could be, like, how we're going to introduce something else to the MCU, kind of dragging this along, and then it's like, no, yeah, it's just her. And then everyone's like, yeah, okay. I don't really know what that means, but okay, great. And then it's like, so you kind of have these, like, mystery box things that are, unfortunately, like, sometimes when you open them, they're very disappointing, which is like the J.J. Abrams principle. It's like, well, just keep introducing new ones instead of opening them, because he didn't have a plan for what was inside of them in the first place. But the thing here is, like, I hate that they keep, like, building up to, like, these cliffhangers or expectations, and then, like, either under delivering or cross delivering, and it's like I'm not blaming the show, except in this one it felt more obvious, because I think my biggest problem was, like, the cliffhanger episode. I mean, with, like, the new cap suit thing. I mean, like, they do this, like, whole MacGuffin literal Pulp Fiction briefcase thing throughout the whole episode of, like, I got this from Wakanda, and, it's just like, well, I'm going to set it over there. That's clearly not let's open it up and see what it is right now kind of thing. Sure. Like, I don't know. Like, you get something from Wakanda. It's like, I don't know, like, open immediately. Like, yeah. It's probably going to be fucking cool. But yeah.
I mean, it's a suit. And
yeah.
It's like, everyone knew it was going to be a suit, and we knew it was going to be wings.
Right.
Like,
yeah. I mean, that's
what
just,
else would it possibly be?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, why would you have that build up and then just like, all right, that's a Captain America / Falcon suit. Yeah, I don't know. It's just.
Yeah, I think it would be funny if, like, he decided he still didn't want to be Captain America, but he was stuck with that suit for the wings.
Right.
Like, no, I'm still not going to do it. But
and it's him,
just,
like, on the shrimp boat, like,
Yeah.
spray painting it. Just, like, spray painting it with shitty Krylon red.
Or he's just in a suit. He's like, listen, it was a gift. I couldn't turn it down. It would be rude not to wear it.
Well, if the next episode after the cliffhanger had started where he just slams the case shut and is just like, hell, like, nah, send us back. Just takes it out.
Like I said, it's one of those things where it's like you built this up and you kind of made a big deal about it, and then you just clearly, like, I don't know, not under delivered, because it's cool. I mean, I'm not disrespecting the suit design or anything like that, but it's like, yeah, that's comic design pretty much. Like, I don't know, if you were to, like, say, I mean, if you were to say, like, take Falcon's suit and turn him into Captain America, I feel like that's what almost everyone would draw. Like, I mean, it's just kind of basic, and it's like, we have established Wakanda as the fucking magical technology place on Earth, and clearly to make another one of those wingsuits in, like, 24 hours or whatever, that is some magic shit.
Oh, they've had that ready. They've had that ready.
But,
That's the thing. This is Wakanda. As soon as they see something cool, they're like, all right, how can we make it and make it better?
Sure.
I was honestly shocked there was not a scene with Shuri at some point, just being like, yeah, I've been working on that since I saw it,
Right.
Like, obviously they probably couldn't get the actress, but, it just seems like a logical thing especially for the way that country has been established.
Yeah. I would like to disrespect the suit a little.
Okay.
But also, that headgear is not good.
Yeah, no, that's a bad looking headpiece.
That head wraparound thing is not good. It doesn't fit him when he turns his head sometimes. It's got, like, the, a little
well,
bit
he
of
wasn't there for the fitting. It was just, it was made and sent to him.
It's Wakanda. Come on.
And the thing is, they really needed a, like, Tony Stark, all right, press the button, the thing, like, shifts and goes away.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's, there's been debate about the speech he gives. And a lot of people, especially, like, movie critic types, are like, that's god awful. That is one of the worst speeches I've ever seen. And it's kind of like, I don't mind it. I think it's on the nose, but it's one of those that kind of has to be because of the stuff they're talking about. Like, and I think that's where this speech comes from. And unfortunately, like, in the US right now, if you are talking about race and other things, you have to be so fucking clear, because there's people who will just be like, no, he didn't mean that. He means this. And it's like, no, sometimes you have to be like, okay, here's the deal. I'm
Yeah.
going to explain this to you like you're 6.
And it's also
but the point I'm getting at is like the whole headgear thing. Delivering that speech in that headgear hurts that speech because it's
because it's
like,
goofy.
It's like a guy in a pirate costume like professing his love for another woman. And she's like, but you're in a pirate costume, like that's kind
Right.
of the same sort of thing.
Yes, and I'd be about that booty.
But also I'll finish my thought on the suit and also touch on the speech real quick. The suit design, like the colors and everything, like that's the only way. Like Wakanda knew that's the only way they could design it. Like they have to be incredibly clear that this is Captain America, the Falcon, or whatever they want it. Like this is Captain America. You can't deny it. You can't say that it's a Wakandan something that like, oh my God, the Wakandans are trying to invade America. No, it's all very, very clear. Like it fits all the jingoistic, nationalistic, patriotism boner shit that people love. Like it's 100% looks like somebody came America all over a super suit. And
That's why it's white.
yeah, exactly. So like the engineers and the stylists in Wakanda are smart. They know they have to make it very clearly, unequivocally Captain America's suit.
Why not just turn him into a fucking bald eagle? He's already a goddamn Birdman.
I mean, he does have the white cowl thing, which
I
is
know.
pretty close.
I'm just saying, like, like I'm just kind of the opinion, like it's Wakanda. I guess I was expecting a little bit better. Like
Something cooler than
something a
just
little
super
cooler
things.
is all. That's I mean I know it had to be American and it can't be like black and purple and cool shit. I'm just saying it's like like something they're just like damn, like that's
Well, I mean, aside from the stupid cowl, I think it looks fucking awesome.
Sure, yeah.
I really loved it. Like the last 2 episodes, the last episode especially had me like, I didn't get to watch it until like way late at night, and I was just hooting and hollering in my own apartment by myself. And I haven't been like that jazzed about a single episode of TV in a while. But also like to touch on the speech, it's not Aaron Sorkin dialogue. It's not this like snappy walk and talk. And to be honest, I really don't think that a lot of the dialogue period in Falcon and the Winter Soldier is that good. But I think that Sam's not a fancy talker. He's not a Tony Stark who can quip, like who can just be like Mr. Snappy, cool guy, 100% of the time. And also, yeah, he's delivering a speech to everyone in America in that interview. Like he's got to be plain and simple and clear and direct. And I think it was really effective. I mean, obviously from my previous statement that I was hollering in my house, I feel like it worked. There was a lot of the other dialogue, a lot of the interstitial dialogue and a lot of the stuff with like his sister. I didn't feel like it was that great.
Yeah, but are they going to sell the boat?
Well, that's really important. Scenes like
I don't
that.
mind the whole boat thing. I like that so much of that was addressing. All right, if actual people had vanished for 5 years and then came back, what the fuck would we do?
Yeah.
Like they said, someone's living in your house. Like, what if you got remarried and suddenly your wife shows back up? It's like, okay, what now?
Well, I think about the guy that was being counseled by Captain America at the beginning of Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
Where he was like, my partner disappeared, and well, now your partner's back, dude. You're gonna have a whole new round of therapy. Like that. That's what I was saying. Like at the end of WandaVision, that I was like, I really want them to address all the things about the snap.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm now seeing the problem with that, and so I want to be clear when I say that I didn't like this as much as WandaVision. The main theme of this show resonated with me big time. Like the whole theme of this. I don't want anyone to think I'm not okay with, where things went and that kind of thing. The elements of this show that didn't speak to me is like anything with Sharon Carter. Who cares? I give literally no fucks. Good guy, bad guy. I don't care who she is. You're wasting my time on this show. This show is already only 6 episodes. I don't care whose side you're on. I don't care about where that goes. None of it. But the other thing that I'm kind of not worried about, it's not keeping me up or anything, but Marvel is starting to do this thing, and they've been doing it for a while, but they're starting to get pretty consistent with it in that everything is a shade of gray. Like WandaVision was like, well, she really did some horrific shit, but she's still an Avenger, so we have to like her and everything. And this, with the Flag Smashers and everything, it's like, well, yeah, they have a point, but like when they got into that conflict, I just kind of every time I would just go cross-eyed and just go, I can't get emotionally involved in whatever. I'm sure they're right, but I can't. Come on, just
the whole
give me a big thing to beat the fuck out of, and let me have a good like the good guys won, and it's not a sad moment. I need that kind of like just fucking pummel the bad guy to death, please.
I feel like Thanos
beat the fuck out of Wyatt Russell.
Yeah, I feel like Thanos was supposed to be that, and like there are so many shitheads on the internet who are like, "No, Thanos was kind of right." It's
yeah,
like, no,
exactly. Like,
fuck?
yeah,
like no,
he raises some good points. It's like, oh,
no,
god damn it,
double the resources. What the actual fuck?
I know.
Yeah, but in thinking about shit, lost the thought there. Sorry.
But just the way they play
Flag
with
Smashers, like
yeah,
Carly. I feel like so many Marvel things start out with like, all right, this villain's got a different point of view on how to fix this problem, and it doesn't match what the hero's point of view is. Like, okay, they both have a point, and then at some point the villain has to be like, nah, but you know what else I could do? Kill a bunch of people for no reason. And it's like, okay, fine. I think that's the problem is like they can't present a villain as like even when they have a point, they have to be like, no, they're the villain. You're supposed to side with this person.
Right.
And I think that's what happens.
Zemo had a point.
Yeah. Like one of my favorite arcs of The Authority, a comic that one day will get adapted and will disappoint the fuck out of me when it does. But there's an arc where literally at the end they finally get to the bad guy who's been like trying to control the earth and do all this shit, and they're like, join us. Like, dude, you're a fucking genius. You're amazing. You could do so many good things for the world. Why don't you just join us? Why are we fighting you? Why don't we just do this? And the guy, like, his ego won't let him, but they're still like, that's how they're going to resolve the conflict. He's like, no, be one of us. What the fuck? Like, why bother with, why would we fight you? Like, it's easier if we all work together here, and like, I feel like that just doesn't happen enough, or they won't let it happen because they're like, no, these are our heroes and these are our villains. And then there's stuff like Loki where they're like, well, I guess he's kind of an anti-hero now, like that sort of shit. And I think they get too focused on, it's almost like heels and faces in wrestling. They get too focused on, no, we got to push this guy, we got to push this character, and we can't really, it's like once this person's a heel, they got to push them all the way to a heel, and unless everyone really 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 loves them, they don't, they're always going to be that way.
Yeah.
And it's always going to be in service of pushing, the superhero, so to speak, because Carly's motivation, I get some of it, but at some point it's like, what are you even doing? Like, I don't even understand what your ethos is. All you seem to do is like make the world's governments want to crack down on you worse.
Yeah, she's always like, here's my speech. I'm going to make a good point. Now let's go murder everyone in this building. And I'm like, whoa. And everyone in her gang is like, that's not right. But then they all do it anyway.
They're all like not on board. And
yeah,
it's presented that way. And
yeah, the thing that Marvel is doing, and like they did it with Iron Man 3 and they did it with Spider-Man Far From Home, is that they keep taking these villains, and I've liked it every time, don't get me wrong, but they keep taking these villains and they're like, well, what you think is conventional, nah, it's not that at all. It's this totally off the wall weird thing. And then the third act of whatever story they're telling kind of just fizzles. It's kind of like, oh, okay, that wasn't really what I thought, but I don't really. So what are we doing here? You know, I mean, it's like, okay, that's clever, but also, so I mean, and you know, with Carly in the end, it was just like, I have a point, and everyone's like, yeah, you do have a point. She's like, now I'm gonna go murder everyone, and they're like, wait, no, we agreed, you had a point. What are you doing?
Yeah, I feel like there was a plot that got abandoned on it, honestly. Like I feel like there was like they were
There
gonna
is a rumor that what they did was start a pandemic.
do what
And
really.
that's what the Flag Smashers plot was, is that they had started some kind of pandemic to get the population back down. And
Oh God.
yeah, that changed real fast.
Well, that's
for obvious reasons, because
yeah.
this was all done in like 2019. But
Yeah.
that is the rumor that has been going around a lot, is that was what their plan was, to release some kind of virus type thing and start a pandemic.
Oh.
So yeah,
I think-
that
I was
obviously have to be changed.
Yeah, I was talking more like it felt like they were trying to, and it seemed like you could have better redeemed John Walker if they had carried this forward, but it seemed like they were leaning towards like the made up super soldier serum turned people hostile. Like it wasn't really their fault. I mean, it kept seeming like certain people, like you know, he gets a murder boner, and it's not just because that's his latent tendency. It's like it's because of the serum, kind of thing, like a Hulk.
Yeah, it was like
situation.
super roid rage.
Yeah,
and for some reason, Cap was the only one that didn't really do that too.
Well, I don't even know if it was like. I thought it was. I was just going with it was this batch that the scientist guy made this go round, and that would
He put like the tar from Superman 3 in the formula, and it.
I don't know, but I mean, it would kind of explain like how Carly goes from like, all right, we have a righteous cause to let's fucking murder these people, like I mean,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, but
Walker,
I feel like the rest of her followers didn't go absolutely ballistic with it.
No.
weren't-
Yeah,
But,
they followed, but they weren't like, they were
they
like,
weren't aggressive assholes about
Right.
it.
sure.
I feel like.
I mean, but they
I
they
feel
could have
maybe
said
it goes
something like
back-
it amplified. I mean, that was clearly what I think they were going for. Is like
Well,
Walker.
they did say, like, didn't they say something about, like, it makes you more of who you are?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what Stanley Tucci said in
Yeah.
First Avenger. Is he's
Right.
basically said, like whatever you are, it's going to amplify it. If you're, if you're truly good and generous, it's going to
Yeah.
amplify that. And if
it's
you're
just
an
that everyone
asshole,
in this who
it's
took
gonna
it
amplify your assholeness. Which,
was an asshole.
with John Walker, I mean, I think they give a good enough motivation for him to take it, obviously. But, well, I mean, like he desperately wants to actually be what he's supposed to be. And I mean, that feels like the most realistic thing that happens in the whole thing, is that the government would immediately take the shield and go, all right, new Captain America, here's this dude. And he's just some military fuck, like that would be 100% what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
That's probably the most realistic thing in the Marvel
Yeah.
Universe, period.
I would think that they would just be like, but not like here, go out on missions. I mean, I feel like the government would be like, all right,
Yeah,
we're
he
going
would be
back to
a
original
figurehead.
Captain America, like go sell war bonds
Yeah.
and shit.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
not because all right, that's I gotta say, but like that's another thing that's kind of bothered me about where this has gone is why can normal people just throw the shield and catch it and shit? Like that's what is kind of bothering me. Like I get Bucky, like that's the thing is I feel like they never really specifically said Bucky got super soldier serumed until this.
He did.
I was
know.
very confused by that. I was
Right.
like, wait, has he had it or not?
Yeah.
Because like he's
I
holding
could
his
have
own,
sworn
but
they said it in Winter Soldier.
They
Yeah,
they
I'm
probably
pretty
came
sure
up-
that they-
yeah.
I could have sworn that they said that he had.
I
the hybrid
thought his
version of it.
superpower was his arm.
Right, exactly. I mean, it's been a little unclear, but like most of the time when he's battled against it, he's been using his arm, which makes sense. Vibranium versus vibranium kind of thing. But like I just don't really get it. Where it was like all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, wait, Falcon can throw the shield just cause he wants to. Like I don't know. That's just like.
Well, at least they showed him
Also-
practicing
Yes,
because it was about to take his head off the first few times.
I think that's the other thing is like
Well, no,
I kept
he-
thinking the
didn't he-
Wakanda stuff was going to be like, oh,
Okay, sorry. I
put-
got what I wanted to comment mixed up with what you said. Because he did all this practice, all this like,
Right.
throwing the shield practice, and then he like sucked at it the next time.
Well, no, I think Walker was the one that they showed practicing it first, and I thought it was funny that they just put these cushions on trees. Like the shield wasn't just gonna fuck those things up. It's like, oh, protect this tree. Man, that cushion ain't gonna help anything.
Maybe they were Kevlar cushions.
Yeah, but I mean, in the end, it's just a piece of metal, so it's not like you couldn't learn how to use it. if you were training enough with it. But
Well, his other
it's
piece of
also-
metal that he made after he lost his shield got fucked up quick.
Yeah, I guess that's just part of it. Is like I was expecting like the Wakanda thing, like part of it to be like, oh, here's how he's going to be able to throw the shield is because there's like this tech thing in here. Like I guess I just have a hard
Yeah.
time of like I don't know if you believe hard enough, you can throw the shield like Captain America and bounce it off shit. Like I don't know. I just feel like that should be part of his like incredible strength super soldier shit, not just like if you believe you can huck a shield and hit 5 people at once and have it
It
come
really
back.
seemed like it was building to like there was some sort of symbiotic relationship between the shield and whoever wields it, and I'm like, okay, but you need to establish that before
Yeah.
you just establish that like I can control this shield, because
Like I said, it's a little confusing just because, especially with like things in
Yeah.
like in Spider-Man 2 where it's like happy. I mean, no, I know it's John fucking Favreau and he's not exactly like built or anything, but he picks up like some random shield in the Tower of London and it's like, how does Cap do this? Because it goes like a foot, like and it's just like, yes, that's building upon jokes like that is supposed to be like, yes, it's fucking amazing that he's hucking a 24-inch diameter thing that's made of I know a really light alloy, but he's bouncing it off of shit and having it boomerang back. I mean, that's not just supposed to be something
the
anybody can do.
boomeranging back is the thing that
Yeah.
that well, for one, nobody should be able to do it, but this
Sure.
is a superhero movie, so
Right.
we're making allowances for Captain America, right? You got to.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, just everybody being able to boomerang it, like John Walker was able to do it,
That's
Bucky's
what I
able
mean.
to do it.
He was able to do it even pre-serum. That's what I'm saying. It's like the second he
Right.
came out, I was like,
Yeah.
holy fuck, how did America super soldier up? And then he's just like, hey, I'm just a dude. I'm a soldier guy. And I'm like, then how the fuck are you hucking the shield?
yeah, I feel like every time John Walker used the shield should have rebelled against him and always
yeah,
tried to
should've just
take off his head or
rolled-
something. And he's just been
Clang.
like, man, I don't have the hang of that thing yet. It's like, no,
Yeah.
that shield fucking hates you.
Man, that would have been such a good fucking just a great running gag. Like the shield just fucking off on him and he had to like tootle over and pick the shield up.
Yeah, I feel like that would have been kind of a funny thing of like, here's this fucking poser Cap, and that's another part of his motivation of everyone's just like, who's this fucking loser? Like, give me the fucking shield back.
Yeah.
And then like,
Let's
and then-
rewrite Falcon in the Winter
and then he's
Soldier.
just like, oh, there's some shit, and then all of a sudden now I can throw the shield. And everyone's like,
Mm-hmm.
what? And here I murdered a dude.
Yeah.
Really impressed with Wyatt Russell, like as an actor. I know that this isn't news to anyone now that it's out, but man, he did an excellent job of making people fucking hate him.
Yep.
Not just because he looked like a complete fucking nerd in that hat when he first walked out, but
They changed it. Like the design of it's slightly different
it must be
from the
something to
one
push
that-
his ears out or
that Chris
something.
Evans wore because
Yeah.
it just makes him look wrong.
Because that first reveal looked like a math teacher wearing the Captain America outfit, and I was like,
Yeah.
what on earth are they doing?
Like he should have been wearing glasses like mine. Like
Yeah.
just
Like, I get like the end of that first episode, the reveal is supposed to be, shit, the US government fucked him over. I can't believe they've done it. But the reveal to me was like, who's this fucking science nerd who's now Captain America? That's stupid. And then
Not
like
only
5
did
minutes
they-
later, I was like, oh, right. Yeah. And they screwed over Sam. I get that too. But
yeah, not only did they screw over Sam, but they did it with a fucking nerd.
Yeah.
yeah.
Poindexter Captain America. Great
Yeah.
job.
Do they have a letter writing contest?
Why'd they hire Caltech America?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think they did his character well in that he starts out as just some military dork and he comes off as genuine and likable in the beginning at least, where he's like, hey man, I'm just over my head, help me out here, and they're like, no, you're seriously, fuck you. And then and then he kind of turns into a bully once he has a little bit of power over them, and it's me like, well, just stay the fuck out of my way, and it's kind of like, yeah, that's pretty much how John Walker is. Where it's like if I can be the congenial captain of the football team, but if you're not giving me what I want, fuck you, I'll beat the shit out of you, that sort of thing.
And that's just how a lot of those guys, not just John Walker, but a lot of those guys are,
yeah,
But
yeah, and I mean they're also smart to surround him with people that are normal, like the guy who plays Battlestar, like he's like, this is pretty cool, right? But he's also, I think he realizes also he's kind of in over his head doing all this shit because he's
Yeah.
just, I mean, even if you're highly trained, like you're still amongst dudes with fucking superpowers.
Yeah.
You
So,
know?
can I get a comics nerd info dump on Battlestar real quick?
Okay, he was originally designed to be the Bucky type sidekick for John Walker when John Walker became Captain America. And basically, they said, Buck is not a good thing to call a black person, so I'm calling myself Battlestar. Fuck you. But yeah, he's basically the sidekick for John Walker when John Walker became Captain America.
And did he have any powers or anything in the comics, or was he just a dude?
I don't recall. I think he did though, but I couldn't tell you. I don't,
Okay.
I don't know as much of his history.
He just said Battlestar like it was like no big deal that he had a
dumb name.
dumb name.
Yeah.
And
I think
was like,
my favorite bit in the entire series is Bucky laughing his ass off when he heard him say his name.
Yeah.
And I'm Battlestar. He's like, okay, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I really like it as a series that continually presents Sam being screwed over by the system, and then basically at the end saying, "I'm going to change the system," because what he represents at the end is basically, to me, the larger context is he's like what we all imagine cops should be. He's going to negotiate first, and then if something has to happen, then it has to happen, but he's going to approach it like someone who says, all right, this person has a point. You know, this person, they believe in whatever it is they believe in. Let's talk about it. You know, like he knows he has to be the best person in the room at all times. And to me, that comes across as like, this is what we think police should be. And they're not. They're what John Walker ends up being, where it's just like, you know, you made me do, you know, I really, for all the faults of his, I do like the scene where they fire him basically, and he's like, "No, you fuckers made me. You know, yeah, this is everything you trained me to do." And you know, granted, they did train him to kill guys who are surrendering, but you know, it's also seems like that's, you know, that's the other police allegory that we're getting there. And I feel like with Sam taking on Captain America, and then, you know, we haven't even talked about Isaiah Bradley at all, which is probably my favorite stuff in the series, honestly.
Yeah.
Which is like a comic that doesn't, the stuff where he was introduced doesn't always work, but I do like that, you know, he tells that story of rescuing all his buddies who got, you know, who were held hostage and all that stuff. And it basically echoes the exact same thing that Steve Rogers does in First Avenger, where he goes and saves the POWs, and like everyone's like, "Oh yeah, you're a hero," all that. And you know, when Isaiah Bradley does it, they're like, "Ah, fuck you, more experiments, have fun," you know. And yeah, he's just this bitter, angry character who, you know, gets to say basically, you know, if there's a black man who wants to be Captain America, he's an idiot. And I think you needed that point of view in the story, and I think that's why I think they had a really great writers' room there. And they had a diverse writers' room. And this is what happens when you have a diverse writers' room, is you can have scenes like Bucky when he finally apologizes to Sam. I think it's in the second to last one when he's training. He's like, "Yeah, I kept bitching at you about handing over the shield, but I didn't understand the implications of you keeping it, what that meant for you. You know, I only thought about what it meant when I looked at it. I didn't think about what it meant when you have it." And I think that's why you have writers' rooms that can say, you know, because if we all sat together and wrote a blaxploitation movie, it would suck. But if we all called our black friends and said, "Read this," they'd be like, "Dude, what the fuck? Okay, here's this." No, but I mean, but I'm serious. Like, they would call us on it. They'd be like, "No, this is stupid. I would never do this. Here's what I would do. Here's why.
Yeah.
You know, here's how you can change it." And I think that's what happened in writing so much of what's in this. You know, as far as the larger context of events, is this is why this character thinks this way. And I think that's presented really well throughout. And, you know, I like that. And I like that, that Bucky gets to be the white guy invited to the barbecue at the end as well.
Well, he stayed in Wakanda, so, you know,
Yeah.
I guess he got,
Yeah. For
guess
a
he
guy
earned
who
his...
grew up, for a guy born in the 1920s, he's pretty progressive, you know?
Yeah. he grew up in the 20s and 30s, and then got to be reborn again and grow up in Wakanda for his second life. So
I am starting to appreciate when they don't even try to hide that they're filming in Georgia.
Oh yeah.
Like the one scene that's supposed to be in at the memorial.
Oh yeah. And
I'm like, no, that's obviously just right over this hill in Georgia that you it's not even, come on. It doesn't even look like a foreign country at all. Because every once in a while it's just like, oh yeah, they're obviously in some weird faraway country. Oh nope, that warehouse is in Georgia.
Yeah. I actually, you were talking about nuanced villains and stuff, and or just straight up black and white style villains. I actually really like the direction you go with Zemo in this, only because it shows. Now he was always a piece of shit criminal guy. It's just you fucked with the wrong, like you fucked with the wrong guys, like secret identity life over here.
Yeah.
Like Zemo probably was causing zero problems in America, at least outwardly, and or to the Avengers until it's like you fucked him up, in Ultron. It's just I like that. It's just like no, I'm fucking rich, like super rich. I'm a baron. Like yeah, I have a driver. I have fucking airplanes. Yeah. This is how
I'm not
this-
motivated by
Yeah.
this money shit.
Yeah.
He's one of those characters that got way more interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Like I mean, because he was good in Civil War, and like you're like, man, fuck this guy for sure. You're like, he really played that well, but it's also he had just enough charm throughout this this series, and obviously the dancing meme that everyone has helps, but just like I think my favorite sequence of lines in the whole thing is when he's like, you probably didn't even listen to Trouble Man, and Zemo's like, you should, it's a masterpiece.
Right.
Really, he's like, he's out of line, but he's right.
I just wish we lived somewhere cold because I would wear his jacket like all the time.
Oh yeah.
That's the best jacket ever.
Yeah, when it slowly started morphing into his comics outfit, I was like, just like I kept seeing it like happen in little pieces, and I was like, I know, please, the mask has to be coming at some point. I don't know why, but
Yeah,
and then
but I do love that when he gets away after the whole fight with the Dormage, they don't chase him. They're just like, oh,
Yeah.
they're like, I guess he crossed the county line. We can't do anything. There was something that I just thought was hilarious about that. That like, dude, the dude's only 30 seconds head start on you. Like you.
Yeah. He just left.
I know who you people are. You just like whooped Captain America's ass and then actually did the shield stomp thing to the guy, just to show him, hey, fuck you. You can't chase a dude down a sewer. This isn't it.
Yeah, no, it's gross down there.
Go down the sewer.
there's gray water down there.
You guys would go down there and chase him.
Yeah.
It's good. I mean, it's a good show.
Yeah, my nitpicks are totally that, just nitpicks. I still
Yeah.
really, really liked it.
Yeah, overall, it's a strong television show. It's
And I liked all the things you guys were like, I don't care, because like I like Sharon Carter. But see, I'm bringing like additional knowledge to, like, I know who Sharon Carter is, and I'm like, I'm interested to
Who's
see
Sharon Carter?
Peggy's
Was
niece.
she in something? What?
She's Peggy's niece, like Peggy Carter's niece.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, she's been
Oh,
in
Peggy
all
Carter's
the other
niece. Okay.
been in the other Captain America movies.
BJ, let me suggest to you something that has worked for me is that before each show, Disney has produced these like 5-minute character recaps.
Mhm.
They are very helpful because the shows will make some obscure reference and I'm like, oh, okay, that's because in Ultron this person said this, and it's like, okay, thank you for recapping that.
In
I'm
Winter
on board,
Soldier,
so.
she was pretending to be the nurse that lived next door to him, and then when Nick Fury got shot, she came in and was like, hey, I'm actually Agent 13, I work for SHIELD, and there was all that, and then like later helped them get the gear, like after they became fugitives, from the whole Civil War stuff, and / Hydra taking over, but
Yeah.
but yeah,
For
so
some
she's
reason,
been
she's
around,
just like a person that I cannot remember. Okay, so who's the power broker? Has that been in any other Marvel shit?
No, that's a
Marvel
new thing. I mean,
cinematic. Okay.
Yeah.
Small problem I have is sometimes they'll do shit like, oh, the power broker, and like, okay, I can grab context like, okay, the power broker's a
power.
thing. Right. But like,
Yeah.
give me like may have one morsel of context for what, who, when, and how, why
Again,
the power
that's
broker.
that's why I'm saying it's like you dangle that. And it's like, well, it's not gonna be the obvious ruse that it's the good guy is actually the bad guy, but yeah, it is. Like I said, that's why it just lets everybody like open up and like, oh, maybe long lost this or that or new character or whatever. Your mind starts wandering.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing about WandaVision is it's definitely willing to take way more chances than this one was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I still don't really quite understand the WandaVision swerve with the Quicksilver casting thing. Like I don't that's still weird to me. Like I don't know. Like that just feels like disingenuous or something,
The
in a
explanation for it still seems very weird. Of just
Yeah.
like, hey, what if we get this guy who is also Quicksilver, but it's not tied to that at all. It's like,
Right.
yeah, but why?
But also he's like the Mandarin in Iron Man 3. It's not really him at all. It just happens to
Right.
be the same actor, but yeah, I don't know. Just saying it's weird stuff like that. Like but
Yeah.
that doesn't make any sense to anybody except for breaking the fourth wall, Like,
it's part of their get the audience
I guess.
churning out fan theories and then
Sure.
disappoint them by doing none of them.
yes, I suppose.
Do
Like
you
I
think
said,
their point is to disappoint people, though? Like,
No.
obviously it can't be.
I think it's just
Maybe
to, like
it's-
get people talking about water cooler talking about the show. I mean,
Yeah.
it's worked.
I think
it
they
worked
just
for The
thought, hey, this will
Mandalorian.
be neat, and they didn't expect
Yeah.
like the entire world to go, whoa, wait a second, holy shit, here come the X-Men,
Yeah.
which they did again in this show.
I mean, mildly, it's just Match Reporters. Like most, I mean,
Oh,
it's a Marvel thing, but it's most known as like where Wolverine would go have fucking adventures and shit.
Yeah, but wasn't his alter ego named Patch,
Patch,
and then they
yeah.
called it the Patch Accord or whatever.
Oh, did they? I didn't catch the patch.
Yeah, they
thing.
did.
Okay.
They absolutely did. They were calling whatever the big government meetup was the Patch solution or whatever, and I was like, hold on.
Oh, I see. I wouldn't have
missed
put that
that
together if
entirely.
it didn't have anything to do with.
Okay, I only knew it
Report.
because I looked it up why everyone was flapping their arms about this city, and then I was like, oh right, and then there was like, oh okay, sure, Wolverine went undercover as a bartender named Patch. Okay, sure, that makes sense.
Comics are weird. That's
The
why I
Hulk
don't read
was
them.
his bouncer. He
See,
was in his Joe Fixit persona. Yeah.
yeah. That's why you don't read comics. There's too much bullshit going on.
Oh, you have no idea.
Oh yeah, you have absolutely no idea.
to be clear, I'm just
Yeah.
I'm just saying shit to be funny. Read comics. I don't care.
yeah.
I
Join Chuck and I one week when we do an X-Men.
No, thank you.
podcast.
I've read 4 comics, and they're fucking absurd.
The last one was really good too. It was really good. The Angel went bad because he was involved in a nuclear explosion. So he decided he was evil. And then he started throwing dynamite around the city, hoping the bad guys would notice and go, hey, that guy's cool. Let's go join him.
Not join him, hire him
Yes.
to be their henchman.
So he was like LinkedIn out in the square with some dynamite arms or something.
Yes.
he was just tossing dynamite, saying, "Hire
Yes.
me."
Yeah.
And Iron Man tries to stop him, but his boots keep running out of jet energy. Because
Oh.
Iron Man's jetpacks in the 60s were had a 20-second limit, and then they all failed.
I don't
Iron
want to
Man's
cure cancer. I want to turn people into dinosaurs.
I'm already looking forward to when we get to Sauron. Because that's the dinosaur character.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I still have that toy.
Oh, the Savage Land set you had.
Yeah, the Savage Land set.
Yeah, because Sauron exists because apparently at the time vampires were not allowed by the comics code, so they had to find a way to make a character that was a vampire but was not a vampire. So they made him a fucking dinosaur, but he sucks people's life energy.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
And turns
Sauron.
people into dinosaurs.
Yes, but he was also a genius scientist. But when he doesn't suck enough life energy, he turns back into the genius scientist, apparently. But then he craves energy, and yeah. Comic books are stupid.
Yeah, don't read them.
They're great.
All I can think of, like every time somebody says the words "comics are stupid," is I'm thinking of that panel in what is it, Ultimatum, with the Blob eating like all the other characters or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like chewing on the wasp and all this other shit.
Yeah.
It's like the most absurd thing ever. Fucking Jeff Loeb.
Yep. Bad
Yeah.
comics are the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But no, I really like the show. I really like that they made Sam Captain America.
Yes.
You know, because Bucky has been Captain America as well at certain points in the comics. So, you know, there was a little bit when it started, it was like, which one are they going to go with? But then, you know, it was pretty clear pretty early on, because it was like, it felt like the majority of the show was presented from Sam's point of view. So that's kind of like, all right, I see where they're going with this.
Oh, I didn't have any doubt that like Falcon was going to come out being Captain America. I don't know. I just didn't have that doubt in my mind going into this. I was just wondering how they were going to get there, honestly.
I did for like 4 of the 6 episodes, like especially when he got the speech of like America will never allow a black Captain America. I was like, yeah, you're right. How are you just going to give this to Bucky? Like, this is not going to end right. I don't feel like they're going to make the right decision here. And then they were just like, nah, fuck it. Wakanda Captain America suit. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
Yep. I just think it's funny now thinking about how long the show was on. I mean, 6 weeks or whatever, but I watched the first episode right after sitting through the next day after watching 4 hours of fucking Zack Snyder's Justice League. And I remember I texted Chuck, I was like, the first action scene in this is better than any action scene that was in the entirety of 4 hours of Justice League. Like that canyon chase thing in the very first episode is like fucking
so
amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That canyon chase is really good.
Yeah.
And then that show remembered it was a TV show.
Right,
and some of the action scenes are like, ooh.
Right. I know. I'm just saying, like, that was their big opener thing. But I'm like, that was better choreographed, shot, everything than anything.
Oh yeah,
in
that
all
was
of Justice
really
League.
what
Yeah.
I mean. That was movie quality. That was like, we don't need movies anymore. We got this, and then it was like, hey, watch this truck battle, and I was like, oh god,
I thought the
this
truck
is
battle
green screen nightmare.
looked all right. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. I didn't have a problem with any of the fight scenes, honestly.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
just, they're not that level of jets and shit, you know, just like,
So there's
or helicopters.
one little touch about like how they were portraying Captain America in the beginning. They were trying to give him like that, yeah, I'm just trying to be the best I can, when he throws the shield under Battlestar in the truck fight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that gave me a little hope at first that they were gonna like, that he was gonna, you know, be just this like, well, I'm just, you know, I'm plucky, I'm trying to do, you know, trying to do what I can when I'm
Captain America and Plucky, his sidekick.
right, Plucky Barnes, yeah.
Yeah, I wish they had stuck with that, honestly. Like, I wish they hadn't.
Well, he
And,
just
like,
immediately
no,
got
he
pissed
actually
off that
is-
no one was respecting his authority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's basically all it was he was just like, I'm in charge here, and they're like, no, and he was like, grrr, and then that would just be the motivation. The next time he's like, I'm a dick. He's like, yeah, you are.
But yeah, that was a nice touch.
Anywho,
Speaking of touch, if
Oh.
you'd like to get in touch with us, why don't you email us, bmf@bmfcast.com, or go to the website, which is bmfcast.com. The audio player on individual posts is still working as far as we know. So
100%.
100%. Complain to me if it breaks again, and I'll press a bunch of buttons until it works again.
Hooray.
But also, if you would like to give us a call and wish us well in being in the same room together soon, 9105-JOCKS-BMF or 910-556-9263 is the BMFcast hotline. Garfield wants to hear from you, and so do we. So give us a ring. And if you liked all that comics talk and you want more, you must subscribe to our Patreon. Become a patron of the BMFcast, the BAMFcast, your lords and saviors. And you can listen to the hashtag Not All X-Men podcast, where things are discussed about some comics.
It's true.
Yeah. Yeah. We read some dumb comics.
Yeah, dumb comic stuff is discussed, but yeah, there's that show and several other quite amusing things, including Chuck's new adventure. Chuck,
You
tell
came
the
up
kids
with
a
the
little
name.
bit-
Come on.
I know, I know. I just want you to tell the kids a little bit about your new venture.
Oh, it's called Take Me to Your Leaderboard.
That I knew.
Aliens have captured me and are forcing me to count down all of the video games ever from worst to best. So the premise is that we're starting somewhere in the middle. We've already done 20,000 episodes so far, and we're somewhere in the 17,000s and counting up. So
Great.
Enjoy lots of middling video games.
And classic Chuck humor, which is my favorite part of anything that Chuck ever does.
And a very expensive costume.
I'm sure it was expensive. I remember you specifically requesting funds to buy it. So,
Yes.
I guess I got to catch up. I only watched the pilot thing, so I haven't seen the costume.
Oh, there's
You gotta
2 brand new
couple more.
episodes with all
Okay.
new effects,
I'm
and
sorry.
I got a special outfit and everything.
Okay.
well, you should subscribe to
I
the Patreon.
Will or
Become a
do.
patron.
I am.
Patreon.com/BMFcast. You can.
That was like
Check it out.
3
Trying to
lies and a
convince
not
me.
truth. I will. I did.
I am.
Chuck has already tried to convince me to make an episode for that. So
Oh, you should
Oh,
totally. There's
okay.
lots of jail cells in space.
because I mentioned one game, I'm like, hey, this makes me want to play this again, and he's like, do it.
Yeah,
Do it.
I'll hook you up.
And I was like, I might need some assistance.
Chuck knows where to buy the striped shirt and collar.
And the dog collar.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm definitely watching.
Yeah, that's right up my alley as far as kink goes.
That's what I'm hoping to see.
That's what I thought.
So anyway, those are the ways that you can get in contact with us or give us your money. So do
Yes.
some of them or all of them or none of them. I'm not your fucking dad. Or am I?
Well,
I don't think so.
Depends on the age.
It's
Probably
probably not likely.
no. More than likely, BJ is not your father.
Right. Yeah.
More than likely.
More than
I get
likely.
around.
But we don't because we have to leave. So anyway,
Yes.
I am Harlow.
Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And this is Variety Hour Away.
What is wrong with you?
So much.
I don't, you started Emo Phillips, and I don't know where you went.
Hey.
This is my book of everything that's wrong with me.
Wow, that's a big book.
Yeah. Have to keep a list. In case somebody asks, I can pull out the book and I'm like,
Well, let's see what's wrong today.
yeah.
Yeah, one thing about Bucky that Jen and I were like, all right, what's the deal?
Yeah.
If you were that Japanese guy's dad, would you want to know that your buddy from the sushi place murdered your son?
The guy clearly needed closure. I don't know
Yeah.
if they were then going and getting sushi after that.
No, but like, I guess what kind of closure does that give you? Because it's basically like, yeah, I killed him. He dead.
Yeah, but I mean, at least
Because I
you
mean,
know.
you already knew he was dead.
I know, but at least you
You
know
didn't know how or
and-
why.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you said wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I don't know. Apparently, that's maybe what the guy needed because
It was
had
it was
been
more
a
for
while.
Bucky's benefit than because it was just a circle in his book.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that's pretty fucked up.
It is, yeah. Those guys are not going to be friends anymore.
no,
Yeah.
Probably not. He's probably not going to get a second date either.
No.
no.
Considering he left in the middle of the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
I
didn't
mean,
even finish their game of Battleship. I mean,
there's several reasons that he's not
Many-
getting a second date.
Many reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not a very good right hand man.
No, he's got a very, very good.
Oh,
said he's left-handed.
Yeah.
God, I love that part too. God damn it, I forgot about that when he tells him, why did you use the metal arm for the wrench? And he goes, because I'm left-handed. Anyway,
All right.
time for me to pack a bag and go to bed. Good
Hell
night,
yeah.
everyone.
you take a bag to bed?
So I'm packing a bag so that
Oh,
I can leave it.
yeah.
Rude way to talk about your wife.
I can leave it first light.
Oh yeah, you got to get
It's
out
not a
first
bag.
one.
It's my wife.
Wow.
Good times. Good times.
All right. Send me
Have fun,
files.
Mackie.
Send me a file, Mackie, before you leave.
Oh shit! Yeah, I gotta hit stop.
I just hit stop.
Collaborate and
shit.
listen.
All right, guys.
All right.
See ya.
Alrighty.